What's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the first video of this brand new year. Very happy new year to you all. Tobes is here just sitting chilling. Could not make an appearance in the first video of the year. So this video today, I basically asked over on my Instagram stories, what did you want me to film and record as the first video? And lots of you said that you wanted me to do a video all about my kind of fitness goals for 2021. So kind of I hate using the word resolutions. I don't know what it is about it, but I just have such an issue with it as a word. So kind of my focus and goals and habits and everything that I'm going to be putting in place or trying to put in place for this new year, this whole blank slate we've got ahead of us. Tobes, you're being very needy. Would you like to tell them what your New Year's resolutions are? Any in particular? Do more ball throws. Not chase and bark at other people, because it's mean. Okay, so let's get into this. I'm gonna break it into a few sections. So first I'm gonna get started with chatting through my fitness goals. Then we're gonna have a little bit of a chat about, that was loud. Then we're gonna have a little bit of a chat about nutrition, and then finally at the end I'm gonna hit you with some of my tips to help you if you are still in the process of setting some goals and trying to implement some healthy new habits. So the first thing that I just want to say, let's start with a caveat, just to say that this video, and to be honest with you, this whole time of year should not be about you being made to feel like you need to change, that what you're doing now is not good enough and that you need to suddenly completely overhaul your lifestyle. I think that's why I hate the whole vibe of resolutions, because it can just make you feel super negative about yourself and put loads of pressure on yourself, and I don't think that is a helpful place to start, and nor is it a place which is going to lead to some long lasting healthy habits and lifestyle choices. So there's nothing wrong with where you are right now. Let's just get that out there. So when I was kind of thinking about this year, firstly, I feel like 2020 was just, we don't need to talk about her, okay? It was just a bit all over the place. And I feel like there is so much uncertainty still going into this new year that it does feel a bit strange to be setting goals and a bit hard to know what to set, what to do. Planning feels like you can't really do that because you don't know what's coming, etc. So my whole ethos with this is just to focus on controlling what I can control and not stressing about what I can't, okay? So all of my energy right now is just focusing on what I can do, and any of these things that I'm going to chat about right now are totally within my control right now. And that was something I really wanted to make sure I did when I sat and kind of wrote and thought about these things. So my kind of bigger goal is just to try and make this my strongest, healthiest and happiest year yet, both inside and out. That sounds like the biggest cliche, and I'm sorry about that, but it is so true. I feel like the last year taught me so much about how important it is to have that strength inside, that mental strength, and also how important it is to have that physical health and well-being. So I'm just carrying that and making it a really big focus, but also just being very open in how that kind of unfolds as the year goes on. It's not really something that you can kind of track and measure, so to say, because it's not something I'm pinning on something aesthetic that's changing. It's just a feeling and a vibe that I'm going for. So then when it comes to my specific goals and specific focuses around kind of physical movement and training, etc. One of the things I really want to do this year is just get back into my own groove and flow with training. I feel like towards the end of last year, I was getting myself into such a spiral and under so much pressure where I was constantly kind of writing workouts, hosting workouts, doing this, doing that for everybody else, that I forgot to stop and actually look after me and look after not just my own well-being, but my own training. And it just really made me take a step back over kind of the Christmas break and realize that for me to show up in the best way possible for you guys, I need to look after myself first. That isn't a selfish thing. That is a base fact, that if I'm feeling strong, healthy, happy, and I'm feeling good and performing well, then I can do a 10 million times better job for you guys. So I think just really challenging myself with that and just making sure that I'm accountable to that and that I don't just let all of my training and everything go completely to the wayside. Because let's be honest, that did kind of happen for me towards the end of last year. The other thing I think that I want to touch on is just how much lockdown really did show me that you don't need to be inside those gym walls to make a workout happen. Workouts are not exclusive to being in the gym. You can do it anywhere. You can do it at home. You can do it in your living room. You can do it in your apartment. You can do it in the park. Exercise and movement has, in the last 12 months, I think taken on so many more different meanings to me than it did in the previous year, and I really want to keep challenging myself with that. So working on things that I don't normally work on because they don't kind of fall into my normal, 4 to 5 weight training sessions a week. So working on things like my fitness levels, getting out and doing some runs. I'm not a runner. I can't do it. I'm not good at running whatsoever. I love the idea of it. I love the idea of being one of those girls that's just running. I've got my cool ponytail. Life's good. I've got Tobes with me, but it doesn't happen, okay? It doesn't happen. I've got the dog walks nailed, but picking up that pace to a run, no. One of my goals is around kind of that whole fitness and physical strength side of things, is really improving that physical fitness, my actual ability to move, to run, to perform well, doing things like more conditioning or, sweaty circuits, or getting 1 or 2 runs in a week and just moving more and improving that fitness side of things. The other is, of course, to improve I say of course, like you've been here the whole time, but I'm hoping you have been, continue to improve my strength. So to keep working on my strength training, to keep doing the weightlifting that I really, really enjoy, and to keep making gains when it comes to kind of that side of things. What I really want to focus on when it comes to that kind of training side of things is yoga. Yoga and me fell in love last year. More than ever, we fell in love. We started a bit of a romance in 2019. 2020 was our year. We were just getting started. The world was locked down. I was on my iPad, had it up on my YouTube, was in such a good groove with it. Was still doing a few classes via Zoom. And then I just kind of fell out of the flow with it. That's a great pun. Fell out of the flow with it and just stopped kind of doing it, got stiff. Everything felt hard again, and then hadn't really done it much in kind of the second half of last year. So my goal is to make some kind of yoga a regular part of my weekly routine. I'm gonna say in a second how I'm gonna break this down into some daily little habits that stack up towards this, but basically more yoga is happening this year. The final kind of goal when it comes to physical things is to really, 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 really improve my mobility and my range of motion. I chatted a lot towards the end of last year about mobility and how just crucial and important it is. If you did any of my live workouts with me over on Instagram, then I did a few live mobility flows, but working on my mobility is something I am really pushing hard on this year, because if you've ever done mobility or stretching, why is it so hard? Like, it's so uncomfortable, and it's just the last thing I ever want to do, but it is so good. Let's jump into a few little things that I'm going to be doing as daily habits. So what I tend to like to do is to set myself kind of these bigger overall goals and then trickle that down into what I can kind of do daily, which is going to add up towards that. So daily habits for me, one of them is going to be to do some kind of yoga, stretching or mobility every single day, okay? I haven't set a time frame on that. Could be 5 minutes, could be an hour, could be whatever I fancy. Doesn't have to fall into the realm of, doing it as a YouTube video or following somebody doing it. It could just be me in front of Netflix for 5 minutes doing it, okay? I'm not setting any strict, super hard boundaries. I just want to commit to rolling that mat out and doing something of that style and vibe every single day, because I know my body will thank me for it, 110%. Mobility is fantastic for helping reduce injury risk. It obviously is helping improve your range of motion, which can help your performance and just help you feel so much better in how you can move, which is a great goal to have. The second kind of daily little habit is to do my daily meditation. Now, I chatted again about this a little bit last year about how I was dabbling in some meditation and doing 10 minutes a day just using an app on my phone. And I have made the commitment to make that happen every single day, 10 minutes a day. So all of these things I'm talking about as daily habits are tiny little chunks, but they all stack up to help, okay? So 10 minutes, this is more focusing on that mental strength, that that mental calmness and just whole good vibes that we're chasing this year. 10 minutes of meditation, nothing complicated, literally just following an app on my phone. The next thing again is more kind of mental focused, but I want to get back into my gratitudes and writing 3 gratitudes in my gratitude journal. And I did actually buy a new journal, which is this guy, which I literally just picked up on Amazon. It's called the 6-Minute Diary, and it has prompts in it, which is super, super good. So it has at the top, I'm grateful for, and it's literally got 3 things and you just jot them down. This is how I'm going to make today great, a positive affirmation, and then you can also pop some things in it at the end of the day. So I'm literally just stacking this as a little morning routine. So a nice walk, sit and write my gratitudes, 10 minutes of meditation, 5 or 10 minutes of mobility or yoga, and that in itself is not going to take me more than an hour, but it is going to do so much long term and even short term for my physical and mental health. The final thing, which I actually didn't know whether to pop in this video or not, because it is kind of a personal goal, but it is kind of overlapping more into a business goal, which is obviously a separate thing that I've kind of got going as a little goals list. But I really want to sit and read a research paper every single day. I talk so much about how education is powerful and it's the most empowering tool you can give yourself. So for me to continue educating myself through courses, through articles, through research papers every day, how that then stacks up to knowledge that I can give you guys is incredible. So I guess just to kind of overview all of that, because I feel like it was maybe a little bit muddled, I just really am going to focus on 4 to 5 solid weight training sessions, because that is still the core of my training, but also getting out for 1 or 2 runs a week, really trying to build up some time in those legs, aiming towards a 5k, maybe even a 10k, a little bit of conditioning, a few sweaty circuits. Honestly, just kind of that whole overall look and vibe is what I'm going for. And also just slotting in that yoga and mobility as well. So hopefully that makes sense. When it comes to nutrition, let's have a little chat about nutrition, because I feel like this time of year is literally the time of year where everybody wants to do some kind of crazy diet. You want to cut everything out, and I've just got no time for that, okay? The girl loves carbs and chocolate, and that is just not what I preach whatsoever. Honestly, what I preach is balance, a sustainable long-term approach. Something that I really want to focus on, and again, I know I keep saying this, but I did touch on this last year, that I kept getting very, let's use the word lazy, at just picking quick, easy foods that weren't necessarily packed with much micronutrients. They weren't really massively whole food based. They were just basically whatever I fancied, whatever I could grab. I think we all probably went through that at some point in the year, just where stuff was so crazy and all over the place. So I really have a goal of focusing on cooking some whole, good, yummy meals, fresh from scratch, trying some new recipes, getting into the habit of making some yummy things like some nice energy balls, some homemade bars, you name it, literally. I just want to have a play, get back to some of those basic food groups, the basic things, the yummy things that are packed with loads of yummy nutrients. So that is kind of my goal, and I'm definitely going to be sharing so many more foodie videos this year, because I know you guys always ask for more foodie videos. So more food stuff is coming, and you can just have a play with all of these recipes with me. But that's just a big kind of passion of mine, is just to keep thinking about that and to really challenge myself with it. One of the ways that I love to do that is just to sit and plan maybe 2 or 3 recipes on, you know, a Saturday or a Sunday before we do our weekly food shop, and pick 2 or 3 recipes, make sure that I'm filling my trolley with everything that I need to achieve that, and to kind of fuel myself in this way that I'm kind of describing. And it just makes it so much easier then. You've taken a lot of the resistance out of it, because you've just made it super simple, and it doesn't take long to kind of just sit and think through a few things. So lots of stuff coming like that, which will hopefully help you guys whilst I'm helping myself as well. Okay, so before I wrap up this video, I just want to touch for a few seconds and just talk through some ways that you can also help yourself in terms of goals and setting goals and just being kind to yourself. But also if you're up for kind of challenging yourself or setting some new goals and intentions, then hopefully these last couple of minutes will be for you. So the first one I just wanted to touch on is that I was always taught on any of my training about the SMART goal setting principles, and I think it is a really, really good one to follow. So basically SMART stands for you making sure that you are making your goals in this exact way, which is to make them specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Just had to check that there because I always get it wrong. Those are kind of the key things to work on. So hopefully that helps and makes a little bit of sense, but basically planning your goals out in that way and using that formula can be really, really helpful at making sure you are just being realistic and you're giving yourself a time frame, you're being specific, and you're just making sure, that they're going to be attainable for you. The second is, if you haven't already read the James Clear book, Atomic Habits, get on that. Honestly, it is such an incredible book, and I'm pretty sure I've already raved about it already on this channel, but I'm gonna rave about it again. It is so fantastic. He has this theory about how if we are constantly striving to be just 1% better every single day, how will that stack up over the course of a year? That's incredible when you think about it that way. It's got lots of interesting theories all around systems and how systems are what you need working well to then reach those goals. And I just had one little quote that I wanted to finish on because I think it's a quote that is really, really powerful. I always have it screenshotted and saved on my phone, and I always just read it whenever I'm kind of doubting myself or thinking about goals or wanting to set goals. Okay, so this is the quote from the book. All big things come from small beginnings. The seed of every habit is a single tiny decision, but as that decision is repeated, a habit sprouts and grows stronger. Roots entrench themselves and branches grow. The task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a powerful oak within us, and the task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower one day at a time. I feel like that's such a good thing to end on, just because it's just such a powerful quote, not about building new habits, but also about changing or rethinking previous old bad habits that you want to kind of rejig a little. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I feel like I've just sat and chatted for ages, but hopefully you did enjoy it. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below if you haven't done already, because there are so many videos coming. Honestly, YouTube is going to be one of my biggest projects for this year, really hitting you consistently with good videos every single week, okay? So hit subscribe. Any ideas or suggestions for videos, pop them down below. Let me know what your goals are as well. I would love to hear them, and I'll see you guys in the next video.